All right, guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About Life. In today's segment, we're going to be talking about how society views you and me, okay? In this video, I want to do a little breakdown, which we all should know by now, but sometimes I feel like I have to explain or at least discuss some talking points that can actually allow men and women to understand one another better. My life as a man, so are you, the individuals watching, is far different than a woman's life, okay? And I noticed that a lot of girls will always say like, oh, we believe we have it harder, or we believe that we mature quickly, or they'll say all these type of things to make themselves seem like they're the more mature individuals out of the two sexes. And that's far from the truth. Men and women both go through our own hardships, but it is very apparent who has life harder, especially in our country, the US, and any neighboring countries as well, okay? Life has always been harder for men as a whole, okay? Overall, through periods of time, we've had war, we had to fight to get what we needed, fight to survive in a lot of cases. And even when it just comes down to the social dynamics between men and women, okay? When you look at it, men always had to go after the women, regardless if we were in courting periods of time or when we are in our most modern period of time, where as a man, you just have to stand out, right? You have to stand out the best way you can, which is making sure your looks are on point, making sure your bank is good to go, making sure you have your own place, your own vehicle. I mean, you name it, you need to have it, okay? That's what it comes down to. But now we're going to talk about how society views men and women, all right? So we're going to start off from the men's spectrum because a lot of girls really need to hear this, all right? As a guy, you are only valued for what you can do. But that's not it, because a lot of content creators talk about that. There's a lot of intricacies that go into that whole notion, all right? Being a good-looking guy does give you some advantage, right? Because now there might be women saying, well, yeah, I know some good-looking guys that they get the girls or they get certain opportunities. You are correct in certain circumstances, okay? Not all around. Not everyone is going to give you what you want because you happen to be a good-looking man, all right? We know that there's pretty privilege, and that works for men and women, right? Handsome privilege and pretty privilege, however you want to label it. But the key factor is that being a handsome man won't just give you opportunities, right? You're essentially average until you become above average. And it's based off of who you are, who you know, and what you're capable of doing, right? There are a lot of components that makes up a man, all right? And that is how we can separate each individual. This is how we're able to classify, in a sense, who's more valuable or who's worth a damn. So when we break down this subject, you can clearly see that as a man, you need to be able to build and create. So now, when it comes to the social dynamics, we just talked a little bit about the economics, where as a man, you won't get far unless you're able to build and create. Now, obviously, there are always exceptions to the rule, but that does not make it the rule, okay? We're looking at the majority. The majority is what makes the rule, okay? So now, when we go into the social dynamics, no matter how handsome of a man you are, that doesn't mean that pussy just falls right on your lap, right? You might have one occasional situation where a girl, you're out in a party or you're out in some kind of venue where some woman shows you interest and you guys just hit it off like that. That can't happen. It has happened to myself. But that's not the regular. No matter how handsome a man is, it's not going to change the fact that you as a man will always have to put in the work, okay? And that even includes going after women. There are some men in the manosphere that believe otherwise and believe the more high value you become, the less you need to do. And I'm here to tell you that that's not the case, all right? If you're a celebrity, you might actually get a pass. But that's again, the minority. There's only about a percentage of celebrities out in this world, okay? So not everyone is going to be a celebrity in a woman's eye. So when it comes down to it, you still need to approach, whether you're approaching an online dating or in person, okay? The point is that you have to still always put yourself in a position where you can be seen, where you can actually show these great attributes that you have acquired through the years as a man. Again, your value is not given, it's earned. Okay? So when it comes down to it, you have to put yourself in that position where you can showcase your skills and the way you look and the way you talk and the way you handle things in front of multiple women when it comes down to getting the girls. Okay? Now, this is in the social dynamics. When it comes down to business opportunities, men are never given just business opportunities for the hell of it. You might have the exceptions again, but like I stated earlier in the video, that does not make the rule. Most men, in order to even do collaborations or to get in the vicinity of another man that is considered valuable in our society, you need to have created value. I can't be just some regular average dude walking up to a celebrity or walking up to any man that has made or built their kingdom, their own empire, and request that they work with me. Request that they give me an opportunity that, hey, I'm a hard worker, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to make this a possibility. Most people will not give you the time or day. That also includes men, where if you don't have any value to showcase, then there's no point of them working with you. Most people are only going to work with you as a man when you have something to bring to the table, okay? So for example, me as a content creator, I only have 230 subs on this channel, right? This is not much. Even in my other channels, I have close to 10K subs. That's still nothing. No matter how bad you want it, right? No matter how much you want to become successful and become an influencer when it comes down to what I do, you still need to grind, continue working on what you're doing, so at some point you can be seen, right? So I cannot go up to another YouTuber that has 100K subs and ask, hey, let's do a collaboration. I think that we would be a great fit. Well, guess what? There's nothing I can give them, right? Unless I'm actually paying these guys out of pocket, which would be useless because it's not like automatically the fan base is just gonna follow me. If they have 100K subs, I might get a few hundred subs from a shout out. And that's only if those individuals fucks with me, right? If I'm not really on that person's platform like that and they're not really showcasing me often, then it's probably not going to happen. I might gain a few here or there, but it's not going to be impactful. In order for you to be seen, you need to have something that people want to see. Make sense? Okay? So again, we already covered a lot of different attributes of what it's like to be a man. Okay? And that's not even including the responsibilities of what is expected out of you, okay? So if you have your own family, people are gonna be looking at you to do something with yourself and to help out in any way, shape, or form. And that is pressure. Because if you're a guy that's not doing much right now, or you're not in a position to do much, then you're gonna be in a stagnant area in life. And that's gonna be looked down upon, not just from your own family, but from people around you. That's the reality of a man, all right? Now, I can talk more in depth if you guys would like in another video, but now we're gonna move on to the woman spectrum, all right? Life as a woman. There are plenty of conversations that I have with women, including the multiple girlfriends that I've had and multiple women that I have slept with, right? I'm always talking to these type of people because why not, right? It's always good to know what a woman's doing, what's her lifestyle like, how she was treated growing up, all right? Now, I'm going to give you the average, right? Because there's a lot of different stories I could tell you, but we're going to give you the average summary of how women, from the women that I've met, they're treated in our society, okay? When they were growing up, there wasn't a need to accomplish anything. Now, other women have inputted in their lives saying, hey, you need to be strong, independent, have your own career, don't rely on no man. We've heard this all the time before. We've heard this plenty of times. So it's nothing new. But when it comes down to a woman, the ability of choice is very present there. The woman could go after education. She could go after career-related jobs. That does not mean that she has to, okay? Unfortunately, though, feminism has taught women to be independent, which obviously has destroyed the nuclear family, right? We don't have the men and women together unified, where you have a husband and wife and children and the picket fence and all of that, you know, all that stuff. that we've seen growing up, the American dream, right? Which the American dream isn't so much of a dream. That was more so a standard of life, okay? But the point is that as a woman, you have more choice, okay? You have the choice to work hard and essentially become less, and I'm gonna just add this in, less attractive to the individuals that you may want, right? If you are looking for men, certain types of men, you may be less attractive by pursuing those hardcore goals, okay? Or you can have a sense of a mediocre life and make sure that you just look the part, okay? So beauty standards. That's why we have a multi-billion/trillion-dollar industry when it comes to makeup, when it comes to surgeries on making your breasts bigger or your butt bigger, whatever it is. Even when it comes down to trying to look more youthful, you have people always fighting against Father Time. But unfortunately, he is undefeated. The point is that as a woman, your main pressure comes from the way you look. That is where your pressure comes from. As a man, it's much different. Like I said before, we have to accomplish and do in order to be recognized by our peers, in order to be recognized by the women we want, and even the acceptance in a lot of cases of our own family, okay? When you are average or below, you're essentially invisible as a man, okay? But as a woman, you are always seen. This is why we're talking about the viewpoint of a woman. You could have nothing to your name, no money, no title, nothing. As long as you look good and you're young enough, you will be able to make something out of your life through connecting with others. See, as a man, you only get the opportunity to connect with other individuals based off of what you already have done. So if I'm an upcoming star or upcoming YouTuber or upcoming whatever I'm doing in whatever field it is, then I have that leverage to talk to people that are ahead of me, right? Get opportunities where I might be able to go on a TV show or meet important individuals to help advance what I've already done, okay? But the groundwork had to be laid out first, right? In order to get those opportunities as a man, you needed to already have gone through accomplishments so that you can further accomplish more in your life. But as a woman, all you have to do is look good enough and surround yourself with the men that are doing what they need to do. And there you go. Now you are already trailing success. You do not have to succeed yourself in order to be successful. You have multiple avenues in order to gain success. All right? As a woman, you can use your sexuality, which usually should be the last thing used, but we know in today's market, a lot of women are using that as their first choice. Then you have also the choice of working and going through the education, getting yourself a career, or whatever job, right? There's still multiple avenues as a woman you can go through. And lastly but not least, secure yourself a man, right? So if sex work or using your sexuality does not do it for you, and if having a career or having a high income job doesn't make your way, you always have the last opportunity to meet a man of value and become a family, right? And a lot of women are obviously trying to not do that, right? Because the downside is you actually have to listen to your man. You become codependent in a lot of those circumstances. So I understand why women don't want to, because a lot of women want the freedom to do as they please, as we've discussed in previous videos. Sexual liberation is a real thing. A woman being able to do what she wants, when she wants, and how she wants to do it is a thing now in today's society, especially from the American culture. So when we talk about both sides, okay, you can clearly see a difference on how we are viewed and how we are treated. Women have always been viewed as sex objects. Yes, I know it's a bummer. It sucks. But I'm here to report what is and not what should be. All right? Men have always been viewed as success objects, okay? AKA being a provider. Where do you think that came from? Right? It came from long ago, centuries ago, of being a provider, right? A man is viewed for what he's able to do, the work, the labor, the intelligence, whatever he has going for him, and however he's able to optimize that talent of his and actually use it for the world and create and help build, then he becomes valuable to society, which inherently allows you to get your hand in multiple fields, whether it's women, connections, and other opportunities that will allow you to grow. But as a woman, as I stated before, you don't need none of that. There isn't pressure on performing. There isn't. There's pressure on your beauty standards though, right? Because you're essentially competing with all the other women out there. And there's a lot of beautiful women out there. So in order for you to get seen by the people you want, whether it's for career opportunities, job opportunities, mating opportunities, right? You just want to sleep with the men that you desire, or you might even want a relationship from them. See, that's when you have pressure on looking your best, because looking your best will allow you to attract the best. Notice how that works, all right? A man has to build himself up, and if let's say he came from wealth, he has to maintain that and continually grow in order to essentially have all the opportunities, being able to meet up with other high value men, being able to collaborate with other powerful people, and getting the girls, getting multiple variety of different type of chicks. Because girls always want to surround themselves with the best. That's how it has always been. And I'm not talking about every single girl. We're talking about the majority, right? The majority of women will want to surround themselves with the best men because that's going to equal the best lives for themselves. Simple. I don't fault them for that way of thinking. Hypergamy is a real thing. And it is for both sexes. It's not just for women, right? Hypergamy goes for men wanting more money, wanting more. If you as a person want more out of life in general, whether it's the women, the money, the drugs, the whatever lifestyle you have, and you're always craving for more, then you, my good friend, are dealing with hypergamy, right? Hypergamy is just wanting to continue advancing, continue getting the better, bigger deal, whether you're a man or a woman. But we know that women can leverage that ability through their sexual image. That's what it comes down to. As a woman, you use your image in order to get what you want, because we, no matter how intelligent we are visual creatures. If I see a good looking girl, my mind is going to be like, wow, look at those breasts. Look at the ass. Look at those curves. Look at that pretty face. Look at her lips. I mean, when you look at a woman is sexualized. Damn near every part of her body is sexual, right? I mean, in other countries, women have to cover up head to toe. That just shows you the power of a woman, which is so sad because that power is very great. It's very, very great. Okay? Her sex appeal is extremely powerful. So when you have people wanting to swap roles, because as a woman, you're hurting your chances the more you think like a man, the more you behave like a man. It's not that you think like a man, behave like a man, therefore you will get a man. No. You'll actually lose the opportunity of getting the men you want the more you do so. But in this video, we're not going to talk about that. It's all about how we're both viewed. I gave you guys 2 viewpoints. I gave you guys the average summary of my own experiences with women and what they have told me. I will be inviting other women on this channel as usual. You know, you see every now and then I have a girl on the panel and we'll chop it up, right? Whether it's with my boy Jonathan or whether it's just me and her. You know, and we'll talk about different things. I might even actually start inviting multiple people on the panel, all right? That might be a thing for future videos. But if you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comment section below. If you have any more things you want to add, definitely let us know on this channel, all right? I'm here to talk about things that need to be spoken about, right? We know men and women are not viewed the same. They're not viewed the same in any part of the world, okay? This is the only country and neighboring countries around us that have this whole gender fluid thing. But we all know it's still bullshit. At the end of the day, when we even saw our country voting for who's gonna become president when Trump became president, we saw Hillary was there. And we're so trying to move forward and have women in all these powerful positions, yet Hillary didn't make the cut. Now, I'm not so much into politics, so maybe you guys know why she didn't make the cut. Maybe there was more than just her being a woman. But the point is that we ended up getting Trump, all right? And that was, I guess, fun while it lasted. Some people hated it, some people loved it. There's always going to be people who like or dislike the presidents that we have in the present or in the past, okay? And definitely in the future. So anyways, guys, make sure that you do like this video. It'll help us push us up through the algorithm. Make sure you are sharing this content so more individuals can see this and we can have some major discussions so that we can start changing shit, you know? We already see some changes with other people like Andrew Tate, if you haven't heard that name, the late Kevin Samuels, and Fresh and Fit, and Alpha Male Strategies, and FedEx Fearless, and Steph is Cold, MJ Get Right. I mean, I can name so many individuals that have been propelling a different narrative so that we could get our shit straight. You know, we can get everything back in order. Because we already know, again, that when women have power, shit gets messed up, right? And men and women, we're not the same. We won't ever be the same. We need to maximize what works for each gender. Yes, I said gender. If you are born a woman, you need to maximize that. If you are born a man, you need to maximize your abilities, okay? Become the best you can be so you can reap the world. As a woman, you already have the world in your hand as long as you're still young, fertile, and most importantly, pleasant, okay? But anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, this channel is all about you. Catch you guys on the next video.